Join us for a lively discussion about the A-State community. Each week, we'll meet with a variety of faculty, staff, and students to discuss all things Arkansas State University. Live from the ASU-TV studios in the School of Media and Journalism, this is A-State Connections. And this is A-State Connections on KASU and ASU-TV. You can also listen by searching for Red Wolf Radio on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast. Hi, I'm Jonathan Reeves, Academic Advisor for the School of Media and Journalism and the Department of Communication at Arkansas State. Today we're going to talk about some amazing work that Arkansas State University students are doing as they're making their community better. Today we're talking about Volunteer A-State and the A-State Food Pantry. Joining me today are Nicholas Sides, the Special Events Co-Chair for Volunteer A-State, and Alex Mitchell, Shift Lead for the A-State Food Pantry. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome to A-State Connections. So first of all, I want to ask you all about how you both came to Arkansas State. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Nicholas, we'll start with you first.
Well, I'm from Newport, which is only about 40 minutes away, and I graduated actually from here in Jonesboro at Valley View, and so it was something close. You know, I wanted to get out of the house, but I didn't want to be too far away, and so I can still go home and visit whenever I want. And I got good scholarships from Arkansas State, and I just thought it'd be a good idea to come here, and now look at me. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You're here on A-State Connections. That's awesome. So what are you majoring in?
I'm majoring in business administration and history.
Okay. Awesome. So Alex, tell us about you, please.
I'm actually a transfer here. I transferred here in my sophomore year. Now I'm currently a senior general studies major, getting my prereqs for dental hygiene. I decided to transfer here because it's very versatile with my major as to where I can take just the necessary requirements for my program and as far as like the diverse community.
Absolutely. Well, welcome. We're glad you both are here. So we want to talk about Volunteer A-State. Tell us about Volunteer A-State. Nicholas, we'll start with you.
So Volunteer A-State is an organization on campus which strives and works to provide students with different volunteer and community service opportunities, not just on campus, but in the community. So we do some of the big events we have are the blood drive, which actually happened just last week. We reached our goal for that. We do volunteer weeks. We do a whole bunch of different just weeks. Swipe Out Hunger, where we give students who don't have meal plans and feel like they're in need of meals, they can apply to receive meal swipes, and we give those to those who apply. So that's some stuff that we do.
Okay, and tell us about how many students are involved in Volunteer A-State, Alex.
As far as Volunteer A-State, there over the year of January 2015, the food pantry is actually something that started between the Student Government Association and Volunteer A-State. Over the years, 1,500 volunteers decided to join, which helps tremendously.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I think y'all have had like, what, over 100 students so far in this year?
Yeah, so for the food pantry right now, we have 135 volunteers.
That's incredible.
Our biggest year ever.
Now, you all do all sorts of events all through the year, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Tell us about some of the things that you all do.
Like I mentioned earlier, last week we had our blood drive with a partnership with the Red Cross, and then we do the Swipe Out Hunger, like I mentioned, and then we just do, so like my title and my partner Claire Vinson, she's the other special events co-chair, we just do different events throughout the year. So next month we're actually going to have a month-long book drive throughout campus. We're going to take books that are picked up around campus, and we're going to donate them to the Dean B. Ellis Library and also the Craighead County Library. We do a Body Positivity Week. We just do a lot of different events.
Right. Now, for those of you who are watching, I want to throw up on the screen several pictures of students in action, and we'll be able to watch those as we go along. So there's the blood drive there,
yes,
right? So there's a blood drive there going on, and
that's in the food pantry.
Okay. So students doing a lot of great work here. The Salvation Army.
Yes.
And work there. How do you all get students involved by way of, is there like a big recruiting effort that you do, or tell us about that?
So we do tabling and things like that, but one of the biggest things to get the word out about different volunteer opportunities is we have a bi-weekly newsletter that any students can sign up for. And that just sends out every 2 weeks. It sends out different volunteer opportunities, not only on campus but also in the community that people can go out and do and get community service hours.
Right. So, how did you all learn about Volunteer A-State? Alex, let's talk with you first.
I actually heard from it from Becca Herring. She is the advisor over Volunteer A-State. She explained the situations and like the responsibilities of the food pantry, and I seemed an interest to it. So.
Right. Nicholas?
So I kind of came into Volunteer A-State. The first thing I ever did, before I even worked at the pantry, I got picked for the executive board as I was a pack leader over the summer, and Miss Becca Herring is one of the people who oversee NSOs and the pack leaders, and during that time that we were doing training, they had the executive board applications out, so I thought I applied and I got in. So then after that, and during the summer, while I'm doing pack leader and NSOs, I started working at the food pantry, and ever since then, it's just been a love that I've had.
Yeah. So tell us about the food pantry, and obviously there was a big need for the food pantry. Alex, let's start with you about telling us about the food pantry.
So as far as like the food pantry, we take donations for any canned goods, and as far as like hygienes, like razors, body wash, shampoo, conditioner. For as far as like needs, we can take anything that's that can last a long time. As far as the canned goods, make sure that's just like in the good expiration.
Yeah, right. And so when do y'all usually take those donations? Do you take them any time, or is there a certain time?
Any time. Yeah, really, any time. If we've had people like leave them outside the pantry sometimes, and we'll bring it in. And if they just want to be anonymous, we'll just go it in, take it, weigh it, write it down, and put it on the shelves. And I mean, we make sure it's all good first. But
Sure.
yeah.
And where do you all? Where's the pantry located at?
So the pantry is, I'm trying to, don't know the exact address. It's on East Johnson, but it's over there by the Student Activity Center. Right there. There's a gravel road from East Johnson.
Yeah.
Right there. It's right there on the left. Right when you turn on the gravel road, it's the first kind of smaller building right there on the left.
Is there a certain time when the food pantry is open?
Yes. As far as like the times, it's from 2 to 6, Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, I believe.
Okay. Tell me how many students you have that are volunteering there at the food pantry, if we have not already addressed that.
So, yeah, we have 135 volunteers right now.
Okay, very good. So, and I know as we said, the needs are always big on there, but there was a big announcement also that was made recently about a huge partner that you all are going to have. Kind of tell us about this, if you don't mind.
The Every Child Is Ours in Tuckerman, their founder, Miss Jan, she helped us receive a partnership with Walmart, and so Walmart is actually donating food every single week to the food pantry. And actually yesterday, the announcement that just came through is actually now they're adding both Walmarts in Jonesboro are going to be able to give food every week to the food pantry.
That is fantastic to be able to have that. Well, how's that going to help there?
I mean, it just helps out tremendously. I mean, we've gone through this summer. June, when I was working this summer, June and July were our biggest month that we've ever had, even when school was in session, and we were just really struggling with the amount of food that we had, and even now we're struggling. So just any donations and the Walmart is going to be a tremendous help.
Now, Alex, as we get closer to the holidays, I know the need is going to be even that much more for it. Is that right?
Definitely. As far as like Thanksgiving and Christmas, and even like the winter days, like it's gonna be cold. As we do have our coat closet to where people can donate not just coats, but like clothing that they don't use and is in good condition.
And this is something that's not just for students, but also it's for staff members as well.
That's
is
correct.
That right?
Yes.
Okay,
correct.
So this is a huge problem, and I know one of the things that they talked about was, every child is ours, and that no one should have to struggle with hunger.
Definitely.
And that's Ms. Jen Pascal, who does a fantastic job with that. So by way of the people that are served, is there like a number of people that you all serve there at the food pantry?
So through the past year, from year to date, from June to June to 2022 to 2023, we had about 3,000 red wolves that we served, and this year we're actually looking at about 4,000 to be predicted serving.
So I know besides them, are there other key partners that you all work with, that you all are working with in the community by way of Volunteer A-State, United Way, and those partners?
United Way, I mean Red Cross with the blood drive.
Yeah.
We have over like 35 different nonprofits that we are partnered with. That we had our volunteer fair not too long ago, and all of them came down to the union and actually set up a table so students can come and talk to them and see what different volunteer opportunities they had.
And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them there. So, by way of, tell us who is all on the council that you all are working with, who all is kind of leading Volunteer A-State.
So our executive council was made up of 8 people plus Becca Herring, our advisor, and you have Jameson Archer is the president, and you have me, myself, and Claire Vinson do the special events co-chair, and Kyla Hallman and Mary Keaton, they are the food pantry chairs. Hannah Rainwater is our marketing director. Samara, she is our Red Cross director, and
got a lot of good people there, and so with that, go ahead.
Cushy is our United Way chair.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. Well, I mean that's good. You'll get that off the top of the head and all that. I mean that's not easy to do. Sorry to throw you all on the spot there, but that's good. I'm glad you all will be able to do that. We're going to continue. Nicholas Sides is a special events co-chair for Volunteer A-State. Alex Mitchell is a shift lead for the A-State Food Pantry. We're going to continue talking about this when we come back on the other side of the break. This is A-State Connections.
ASU-TV, shows like Red Wolf Roundtable, ASU-TV News, Westside Football, and more. Gain real-life experience while doing what you love. Get involved with ASU-TV today.
Are you looking for an education that will take you places? At Arkansas State University, we're preparing students for success in today's ever-changing job market. With expert faculty and cutting-edge technology, we're creating an environment where students can thrive and reach their full potential. And with a diverse student body and a supportive community, you'll find plenty of options to get involved and make lifelong connections. Discover all that Arkansas State University has to offer. Apply today and start your journey to a brighter future.
Red Wolf Radio is a student-led organization at Arkansas State University wanting to hear your takes on pop culture, music, the news, and college life. Just about anything you can think of. Located in the Education and Communications building on campus, we are always looking for more volunteers. So if you're an Arkansas State University student, no matter the major, and this is something that interests you, shoot us an email at redwolfradio@astate.edu. That's redwolfradio@astate.edu. Let them hear you how.
At Arkansas State, we want you to go. Go where learning soars, takes flight, and rockets ahead. Go for experiences, internships, and scholarships. We want you to go. Become A-State Maine. Are you ready to go? Go.astate.edu for details.
Live from the ASU-TV studios in the School of Media and Journalism, this is A-State Connections. And welcome back to A-State Connections on KASU and ASU-TV. I'm Jonathan Reeves. Today we're continuing our conversation about Volunteer A-State and the A-State Food Pantry. Nicholas Sides is a special events co-chair for Volunteer A-State. Alex Mitchell is the shift lead for A-State Food Pantry. And welcome back. Appreciate y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to talk about the importance of service, and that I know that you try to get as many students involved as possible. what do you tell students? Why should they be part of Volunteer A-State?
I would say try putting yourself in their shoes. If you need help, you need to know where to go. And through Volunteer A-State, just aiding in helping the community as far as your campus, like you're here for a reason. Make yourself out of it.
All right. Nicholas?
I just think it's good. Like kind of like what going off what Alex said. It's just kind of putting yourself in your shoes and thinking about anybody could be in anybody's situation. And if you were in that situation, would you want somebody else to help you out? Would you want to see that person volunteering and putting in the effort to help out you? And so I just think, just kind of showing yourself that you're helping somebody.
Sure. And
you're just making a difference.
And how's being part of this, how has it benefited your life, specifically? Because I know that there is that benefit of helping other people.
Just seeing the Red Wolf's face, like once I give them the bag at the food pantry, it just gives me a source of satisfaction as like I did my good deed for the day, and just knowing that I'm helping somebody in some way and changing their life to where they ain't got to worry about no food or like anything of that sort.
Yeah, Nicholas?
Yeah, I also agree with what Alex said there. Working at the food pantry, whenever you're giving these bags, people a lot of times they're very happy to be receiving these bags, and it just kind of shows that what you're doing actually matters, and that it kind of gives you motivation to keep going. And even just through other volunteer efforts, like at the end of last year with Volunteer A-State, I volunteered at the Hispanic Center in town, and I painted a soccer goal. And I just, even though I never saw the kids playing on soccer goal, I just know, like in my heart, I know that those kids are having fun with that soccer goal. And so that just kind of brings me some happiness knowing that I can just help people.
One of the things that Becca Herring was talking about was that the students who may be a part of Volunteer A-State may have never thought about maybe having a career working in nonprofit work. Have you all thought about those things now? Has that kind of opened your eyes to that?
It definitely has.
Yeah, most definitely for me. I've definitely seen what volunteering and nonprofit can do for people, and I'll definitely be looking out for opportunities where I can keep doing that after I graduate.
Right. So, Alex, if students are interested in getting involved, because I know that's one of the first things, especially freshmen, new students are like, okay, where's my place? How can I find that? How do I get involved? How do you get students, what can students do to be able to get involved with Volunteer A-State or the food pantry?
At the beginning, before they even started, in orientation, as I was a pack leader as well, we explained how on the A-State website, there's actually over 180 student organizations that they can join to where they can get involved and find their own group, as well as social media. If you search A-State, there's literally all the list of anything, and then there's link trees to where there's applications to where there's volunteer opportunities for them.
Okay. Before we let you all go today, just want to ask about anything else we may have missed. I know we were talking about, I think there were a couple of events that happened through the year that we didn't mention in the first segment, I believe, Alex.
As far as like the food pantry, we don't only serve food, like we serve hygiene as well as the Coke closet, like I explained previously. There's also birthday kits as well as grocery giveaways and things of that sort.
Okay. And those are important, I know.
Mm-hmm. And then one of the ones I wanted to talk about is that it's a brand new program that I'm trying to start through Volunteer A-State. And it's a food recovery program. So as I'm also on SGA as a sustainability liaison, and one of our missions was to create a food recovery program on campus. And so basically what we're doing is we partnered with the national program, the Food Recovery Network, and we got to deal with Sodexo, and we're going to be going down there 2 times a week and taking food from the CAF that would normally be thrown out, and we're going to take it, package it up in meal bags or meal boxes, and take it to the food pantry or other places in the community like Salvation Army that may be in need of food. And so we're just trying to fight food insecurity even more.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's a great thing to do. And by way of the food pantry, do you all have your supplies? Of course, come through donations, and that y'all work with like the food bank and others to be able to. How do you all get some of the supplies besides the donations, or is it strictly donation led?
It's mostly donations. We don't, besides that Walmart partnership.
Sure, yeah.
We don't have any outside partners. I mean, sometimes you can go on the food bank website and you can buy food from the food bank and get that, but mostly I'd say even more 90% of it's donations, and now we have that Walmart partnership. But other than that, no outside help really.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so that just means that people need to go in and donate and be able to do that.
Yeah.
So once again, that is located over by the Student Activities Center. That's just off of Johnson. I think people may know it as maybe the former soccer.
Women's soccer. Yes.
Women's soccer. Yep. So people can go there and do that. Before we let you run, thank you all so much for joining us here today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Alex, anything else you'd like to add before we run?
We just really appreciate you guys having us, and we really enjoyed it.
Very good. And Nicholas?
Yeah, we appreciate having us on and being able to promote voluntary state in the food pantry, and we just hope that this can kind of help bring awareness, even more awareness to what we have, and soon, after next year, get more volunteers, as applications are closed now, but more volunteers coming in and just getting more people involved with volunteering on campus.
All right, that sounds good. Yeah, so, I mean, there's always room for someone, to be able to do that and to be able to get involved in that. So spread the word there for sure. Well, that'll do it for this edition of A-State Connections on ASU-TV and KASU. I want to thank my guests, Nicholas Sides and Alex Mitchell. Also want to thank creative media production instructor Galen Perkins and always his amazing students who are working behind the scenes doing a fantastic job. Also thanks to engineers Clayton Holderfield and Jacob Keene for their help. And thank you for watching. I'll see you right here for another edition of A-State Connections next Wednesday at 1:30. Once again, you can listen to this episode of A-State Connections by searching for Red Wolf Radio Podcast on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast. Have a great day and so long, everybody.